Welcome back in. It's time to talk about your money, and we continue our discussion on trusts. And this week we're talking about irrevocable trusts and what you need to carefully consider before choosing this option instead of a will. Marshall Clay with the Welsh Group joins us now to talk more about it. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, last week we talked about irrevocable trusts. I'm not sure if people are familiar with an irrevocable trust.
Yeah, I think anytime you embark down the road of creating a trust, I think you need to seek the advice of a lawyer
Sure.
or a seasoned financial professional. But certainly when we're talking about irrevocable trust versus revocable, it's even more important to have that deep discussion, because as the name would suggest, it's irrevocable. It's hard to change these trusts or revoke them once they're put in place. And so these things are set up in a separate legal document. So if you're alive, you're setting up this irrevocable trust, and there's really three main reasons why you would set this up.
Okay.
It's pretty clear cut. You're trying to save money on estate taxes. So you see this a lot with a lot of high net worth individuals. They're putting assets that they think are going to appreciate greatly over time. They're putting these assets in this irrevocable trust before they pass away to avoid the potential punitive estate taxes down the road. The second reason is, a lot of people are in businesses or own businesses that are subject to litigation, subject to creditors attacking them. So they want to go ahead and put some assets in there to protect themselves in that way. And then the last way is to maintain eligibility for government benefits. And this is something that you see not with the high net worth individuals, but more for kind of lower end, where you're looking for applying for maybe some Medicaid type benefits. And the way that they run these calculations, if you have too much money that's in your name, you could violate those rules and be unable to receive those benefits.
And they would take that out before you would start to receive those benefits.
Absolutely.
Right?
There's some nuanced rules where you have to get this money into a trust, and it has to be in there for 5 years, or there's these clawback provisions. But I think a lot of folks, they want, particularly we see this a lot with special needs, where they want their loved one to qualify for these government benefits, but they also don't want to, have to bleed down all of their hard-earned money to do so.
Or maybe even a home, right? That could be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Assets.
The asset levels are really low, so you have to be careful on that. So usually, unless it's a really inexpensive home, but yeah, the irrevocable trust is another way in which you can protect those assets.
So again, this has to be set up in a legal document, but the biggest difference between this one and a revocable is that, in revocable you can move stuff in and out, you can have access to it. Irrevocable, different story, right?
Exactly right. So if you want to maintain that flexibility, if you're trying to set up something which distributes money to your beneficiaries in the way that you want, we talked about last week how it's a non-public thing where you don't have to go through probate. It just sets the rules out very clearly on how your beneficiaries can receive this money. I think a revocable trust is probably the best way to go. But if you're going down the road of an irrevocable trust, really these three reasons of estate tax, creditor protection, and to maintain government benefits are the criteria.
All right, Marshall Clay with the Welsh Group, good blueprint of information. We know you probably have a lot of questions about that. Again, you wouldn't want to contact a lawyer about that. Thank you so much, Marshall.
You're welcome.